Okay, so what does this red button do on the
Hey Peter, hey Austin.
Hey Connie.
Welcome to the marina. You guys ready for a boat ride?
Yeah, I just hope I don't get seasick.
All right, well today we're going to go out on a boat with the Bay Constables and talk about boating safety. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's
go!
All right, on camera with...
Al Tizzolo, Senior Bay Constable, Southampton Town Police Department.
So, give us the spiel. How worried are you about boating safety now that the season is starting up and the pandemic is coming down in numbers, so people are really loose and hoping to get out there and spread their wings?
Yeah, we did, with the pandemic, when it was in full force last summer, we did work with our police department. You know, we were very busy. We were making sure the beaches were at capacity, we're at the license capacity that they were set for. You know, managing the fisheries. We had an influx of people coming from up west where beaches and stuff was closed. So we managed that along with the DEC and again with our police department. This year we're geared up to go. I mean, we're ready. Our boats are ready. Our guys are ready. We'd like to just have the public remain safe. Life jackets. In town of Southampton, it's 5 miles an hour within 500 feet of shore. So if they could adhere to the speed regulations, anybody operating a personal watercraft, also known as a jet ski, would need to be in possession of a New York State safety certificate, which is also referred to as a jet ski license. BWI, our guys are out at night in conjunction with the Coast Guard. Our police officers are on board with us. We're actively looking for BWI, so if you're out on the water, don't take chances. You know, if you don't know how to swim, just in the last week with the 85-degree day, we had 2 near drownings, you know, just people out trying to cool off. So be mindful of your surroundings, the currents. Our lifeguards, our town lifeguards will be starting Memorial Day weekend. Please adhere to their instructions. If you're swimming at a non-guarded beach, please be careful. Always swim with a buddy. You know, let people know that you're out there.
And boating safety when you're going through the lock, for example.
When you're going through the locks, you need to maintain a safe speed. When the locks are open and you're traveling northbound, the current is very swift, so you do have to use quite a bit of power to get through. As you exit the lock, we ask you to bring the power down so that you don't create wakes for the marinas that are along the shoreline.
And if you are having a problem, what do? You call...
If you have a VHF radio, it's channel 16 as hailing in distress. You can call the Bay Constables directly, the Coast Guard. If it's a real emergency, you could say Mayday, and one of the agencies will get back to you. If all you have is a cell phone, it's 911, and try to give the 911 dispatchers, you know, clear and concise information as far as your location. Try to remain calm so that they can help us get to you.
Typically in the summer season, do you have a volume of boats that you see out here?
Yes. On the weekends, I would say our volume increases probably to almost 80% over other days of the week, Saturdays and Sundays.
And so patrolling makes it a little bit tougher on you.
Correct, but you know, we have 6 vessels spread throughout the town, a couple of land units, so we can pretty much get anywhere we need to get quickly. And we concentrate on areas such as Shinnecock Canal, Shinnecock Inlet, as far as primary patrol, Sag Harbor, North Sea Harbor, Flanders, you know, we're all over.
Environmentally, people really need to respect the waters. What do you do if you need a pump-out boat?
Pump-out boats can be reached on channel 73 on the VHF. If you shout out to them, there's 6 of them stationed throughout the town. One will answer. You have to be patient. On the weekends, sometimes they get backed up. It takes them a little while, but you can also call 631-287-5717, which is the trustee's office, and they can always get a hold of the pump out. You can leave your phone number, and the operators can contact you directly.
So overall, what's your advice for boaters this summer?
Just stay safe, have a good time, be careful. Like we say, things go from good to bad quickly. Be mindful of the weather surrounding you. And be mindful of others, be courteous. You know, we're all in it together.
Hi, I'm Southampton Town Supervisor Jay Schneiderman. I'm here with Southampton Town Police Chief Steve Skrnicki, and we're at Mashut Beach, a county park here in Hampton Bays on Peconic Bay. And today is the first day of summer, and we know a lot of people are going to be out enjoying the water soon, and we want to make sure that they're safe. So I'm here with the police chief talking about boater safety, and we want to talk a little bit also about some of the innovations we're doing to help keep people safe. So Chief, welcome.
Thank you.
In the back here, we have the Bay Constable boat out on the water here, and we're going to be doing a demonstration in a little bit about using technology. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. One of the issues that we have out here, obviously, is swimmer distress, whether it's a surfer, whether it's somebody in a kayak or a capsized boat. Happens sadly a few times a year, and this year with more boaters on the water probably than ever, we want to be prepared. So in addition to all of our resources that we've had in the past, we've introduced in the last year or so a new technology, an unmanned aircraft that has a little box about the size of a shoebox. You'll see it in the demonstration, that we can deploy either from a boat or from land, put it over the distressed individual, drop it, and you'll see in the demonstration when it hits the water, it blows out into an inflatable that up to 5 adults can wrap their arm around, keep them safe while we get our boats or other resources to them. This can be used in a surf area where sometimes our boats can't even get to you because it's too tumultuous. It could be out in the middle of the bay, in the middle of the ocean. It's a great technology. We've really taken that drone program into all facets of policing, but we're going to demonstrate today one facet, and that's how it coincides with our water program.
So when you talk about unmanned aircraft, you're using the word drone as well. So it's
Yeah.
sort of the same thing. So people are familiar with drones, I think, at this point.
Exactly.
But your drones are a little bit different, a little more sophisticated, and your pilots, so to speak, have quite a bit of training. Can you speak to that?
Of course, we have to be regulated. We are regulated by the FAA. Our pilots are certified and trained. We have currently 7 trained pilots and 9 aircraft, some of which are with the Marine units at all times. Others can be deployed from our headquarters. And the program has so many benefits besides this that we'll get into maybe another time, but clearly it has great water rescue benefits, and that's what we're going to demonstrate today.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people go out in the bays of the ocean, sometimes, they can be overconfident, in their swimming abilities, particularly in the ocean, don't realize how dangerous it can be with the undertow and the rip currents, and even in some of the bays, sometimes you have these tides that are really pulling out very quickly. And I know with our boaters, people think it's, they don't have anything to worry about when they're out on the water, but it's really important that people know the rules of the water.
Absolutely. And this equipment assists us in all of that. I should mention too, one of the features that we have is infrared capability. So if this were to happen at night, we can see somebody at night with the infrared. They'd be glowing in the cold water.
Even in the water, yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
The body would be glowing. So it's a tremendous tool at night.
Yeah, we have had incidents where we've had missing persons, where we've had to find them in the woods or in the water.
Yes.
That's going to be a great tool to have at your handy.
It is.
Now, you have more than one drone at this point, right? You have several.
Yeah, we have 9 actually.
And you use them for all different kinds of things. So for surveillance at special events.
Yep.
If you have a situation where you're looking for a missing person, as we mentioned, any other types of uses for these things?
We've used them in association with court-ordered search warrants, when we've done some narcotics search warrants to help keep our officers safe and to manage a scene like that. We put the drone up in the air for that. We've used it for traffic control. We used it extensively when we had the U.S. Open here.
Sure.
We were able to. That's when we really started to develop the program, actually. So we're very well prepared for the next one. But it gives us an advantage of height, rapid deployment. We can get to a location with the drone faster than we can with a boat or a car. We can see what's going on. We can then decide what resources we need to deploy, and we can stay in contact. You're going to see that our drone today has the ability we can talk to a swimmer. So we're going to give this swimmer some instructions while he's waiting for the inflatable to be deployed.
Now, the Bay Constables are under your supervision, right?
Yes,
in the police
part
department.
of the police department.
So can you tell us a little bit about what the Bay Constables do, what their normal responsibilities are?
Yeah, they have a pretty wide range of duties that ranges from inspecting docks that we permit to residents in the township. to enforcing all of the rules of the water, making sure that every craft on the water is equipped with the right safety equipment, making sure that people operating these crafts have the proper licensing. And then, of course, they're there for any type of distress calls to offer assistance and rescue. And they're there just to make sure that people are following all the rules of the waterways the correct way. They also tie in with our trustees. So issues that the trustees might come upon, they have an outreach through our Bay Constables to assist them for enforcement of their rules and regulations. So it's an interesting job. It's got a lot of responsibility to it, and we have incredibly good people in those positions.
Do you see a lot of people out on the water not following the rules, maybe drinking too much, or not paying attention to the channels and things like that? What has been your experience with people out on the water? For the most part, are they doing what they're supposed to do, or are you seeing a lot of problems?
For the most part, they're doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, it's nice to be out on the water on a beautiful day. The likelihood there's going to be somebody on that boat that might be consuming some alcohol, and that's fine, as long as there's a designated operator of the vessel, the same way that you would go to a party or an establishment, have somebody designated to operate that vessel who is properly licensed and can do so, and the rest of the people on board can have some fun. But even if in those situations, remember you're on the water. Somebody who's consuming alcohol and falls overboard is not going to have the same swimming abilities as they would if they were not consuming alcohol. So It's always dangerous to consume too much alcohol on the water, and we ask people to be careful. But by and large, the vast majority of people that we encounter are wise to that. They're intelligent. They're using common sense, and they're not breaking laws, and they're keeping everybody safe. Now and then, we had some tragic accidents that you're aware of. Somebody will abuse that, and that's where we have to come into a rescue mode that we prefer not to.
Now, can people get ticketed for driving a boat, or while intoxicated?
Yeah, certainly can.
Boating, what's that called? Boating while intoxicated?
Boating while intoxicated, they'd be arrested, not just ticketed. They'll be ticketed if they're speeding in zones where there's supposed to be no wake, or in areas where there are speed limits to how fast they can go. They'll be ticketed if they don't have the right safety equipment on board, or if they have the wrong operator operating the vessel.
So there's a lot to know if you're a boater, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of rules to follow, and they have boater safety courses now, too.
Yes, they do. We certainly encourage that. And now there's licensing for boating as well, particularly the jet skis. You see a lot of younger guys, younger people using these jet skis. They need to be licensed, they need to be educated, and they need to use them in a safe way.
So now, are you ready to set up for the demonstration? I see the Harbor Master boat is on the move there.
Yes, if we can break for just a minute, we're going to put a swimmer in the water. He's going to simulate somebody in distress, and then we'll demonstrate
that's
all
great.
of our equipment. So right now we have a swimmer in the water. He might have been swimming and fallen into distress. He might have been kayaking and lost his kayak or his paddle board, or he might have been in a boat that capsized. But he's in distress right now. He's waving to the beach. Frequently, this would be a lifeguard rescue, but sometimes there's no lifeguards. And this could happen in the middle of the bay as much as it could happen right here. So the demonstration's close to the shoreline, but this could be out much further. So we have one of our unmanned aircrafts up right now. You can see slightly overhead. And that aircraft is going to send a message to the swimmer advising that swimmer that we're going to deploy a rescue device to him.
This is the Southampton Town Police. A flotation device will be dropped to you. Grab onto it. A rescue boat is en route. This is the Southampton Town Police. A flotation device will be dropped to you. Grab onto it. A rescue boat is en route.
That was right over his head, so obviously he could hear that as clearly as we did when it was over here. And now we're going to send another device out to him right now that's going to have a flotation device mounted to it, and that will be dropped to the swimmer. Okay, so we're launching the other machine, which is a little bit bigger. You'll notice when that gets up into the air, it's a little bigger, and you'll see a bright green device hanging from the bottom of that. That's actually the flotation device. And it's a little bit tricky sometimes to get right over the swimmer, but the big advantage of this, you might be saying, well, a helicopter could do the same thing. Problem with the helicopter is, if a helicopter was that close to the swimmer, the disturbance in the area, the water, would be dangerous to the swimmer. So the helicopter would have to stay much higher and would have a much harder time hitting the target being the swimmer. Now you can see that device is right there, probably within 10 feet of the swimmer. Not too much trouble for him to just take a couple of strokes, get over there, wrap his arm around that device, and now he's safe. Now he can sit with that device, he can hang on to that flotation device and wait for the boat to come in and pick him up.
Keep eyes on him until the boat.
Yeah, now we have 2 drones in the air right now, so they would stay with that situation, making sure that they keep eyes on the swimmer, making sure that that swimmer is safe while waiting for the rescue boat. And are we going to pick him up on the boat, or is he?
He's not going to be able to get. It's too shallow. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
okay.
as close as he can get.
Okay. So for purposes of our demonstration, we're not going to bring the boat over to him. He's going to swim in, which could happen too. It could be that close that we would direct him to start swimming in, keep him under observation while he's swimming in. And as the supervisor and I were saying, this is one facet of our unmanned aircraft program. We have so many uses for this. This is just one. But what you just saw here is available to our Bay Constables. They actually have 2 of these units assigned to the Bay Constables themselves, and we have several others that we can deploy from headquarters.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on the Let's Go Show.